Hi everyone, my project is all about outdoor education and sensory gardens, and the title of my project is Teaching Through the Senses and Creating Authentic Learning Experiences. So I wanted to begin by first establishing what sensory gardens are. So a sensory garden is a carefully planned space designed to invoke and indulge all five of the senses using plants and decor, resulting in an immersive experience. The role of a sensory garden is to trigger several neurological experiences, both familiar and new to students. A sensory garden is ideal for children, but especially those with autism. It offers them a safe environment to explore every stimulus and boost sensory development. Underreactive kids can use sensory gardens to experience all of the five senses healthily and positively. Sensory gardens can also be used with the general population as well and can be used to interweave multiple different curriculums, including math, science, social studies, writing, arts, music, etc. There's a whole bunch of different ways you can incorporate every school related subject into an outdoor learning space, like a sensory garden. So, how do sensory gardens positively influence learning? Sensory gardens allow schools to create a space that promotes outdoor learning and experiences by stimulating the senses. Remember, kids learn best by doing hands on activities, and sensory gardens provide them with an immersive experience. I currently work in a kindergarten through second grade building, and I know that my age students that I currently work with tend to learn best by being hands on and physically participating in the activity. It's really hard for a student to learn about the life cycle of plants or the life cycle of animals if we're just reading about it or discussing it aloud as a whole class. Students will learn much better if they are hands on and actually invested in the activity that they're doing and they're having an authentic experience with their learning. So here's a little bit more about sensory gardens. And some of this information here is provided from my undergraduate research I did with Bishop Dunn Bishop Dunn Memorial School and helping them develop their sensory garden. So number one is developing an awareness of nature and biodiversity and responsible and respectful behavior in the garden environment. So these are kind of some of the expectations of the garden. Two, learning about the cycle of seasonal changes both experientially and through classes in the garden. And number three, taking care of harvesting herbs, lemons, and other plants to use in the school or even in classroom cooking. I like the idea of having the students make meaningful connections through the garden. For example, number three, if the students are planting food or are growing different things that are edible, they would be able to also use those in maybe a cooking class or even give to the school cafeteria to be able to serve to them and other students for a lunch option. Additionally, I have number four, where it's developing collaboration, communication skills, and vocabulary related to experiences in the garden. And five, developing skills in relaxation, self-management when tired, stressed, or anxious by requesting garden time or break. What my research has led me to learn is that sensory gardens can be used to get students connected with their senses, but it also offers a safe space for students to be able to go and decompress from stressful situations. And it can also be used for students to talk with teachers, administrators, and other faculty. If an issue would arise in school, students tend to feel more calm and more safe in an environment like a garden versus an environment like a principal's office or a private office with an OT specialist, a PT specialist, a therapist, etc. The students will tend to feel more comfortable in a less intimidating environment. So here I wanted to share a little bit about some of my research that I've done in the past and how it's kind of being viewed really happening in the real world. So Bishop Dunn Memorial School is a private school that's on Mount St. Mary's campus. While I was there during my undergrad, I helped participate in building the memorial garden and the sensory garden for the school there, and it was a really incredible experience. So I wrote during my undergraduate career at the Mount, I was able to help be a part of the team who brought the sensory garden to Bishop Dunn. This was a truly successful project and showed me how to create a sensory garden for other schools. Additionally, the Hudson Valley Math Trial also offers great tips on how to integrate math to the world around us. So here, if you're interested, I embedded two videos that could be extremely beneficial to helping you learn more about how to create a sensory garden at your own school based off the one done at Bishop Dunn, and as well as kind of interweaving that additional component of mathematics in there using the Hudson Valley Math Trail. Here I selected an image that I found on Instagram teacher page that I follow. The image says from ages 3 to 6, the only requirements in Denmark is that children learn the alphabet. The rest of the time is set aside for play. I thought this was a very significant image and wanted to include it in my presentation because there is research that has been done that really shows that students and younger grades should be focusing their time and energy on play and exploring the world around them, not sitting in a classroom and receiving direct instruction for multiple hours a day. Additionally, I added in 2 other images about the benefits of gardening with children and how these life skills that we can teach children can really create a lifelong passion for them about gardens, about science, about kind of taking care of the world around them as well. Here are also some additional links and resources you can use if you're interested in trying to develop your own sensory garden at a school. And here are my resources. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation, and I hope you would consider trying to create a sensory garden in your school, or even pushing for just kind of more outdoor education time for your students so they can really have meaningful and authentic experiences in their learning.